Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick little video about some of my favorite decks. I think like all tarot readers and deck collectors, I have quite a collection. Not as big as some people's, but I have a few decks to spare. And I got a request about talking about some of my favorite ones, the ones that I like to use the most. So I thought I'd make a quick video. One thing I love about collecting decks is I love to collect them from independent artists. So I've got quite a few beautiful, independently created and published decks. One of those is one that's actually quite popular right now is the Star Child Tarot by artist Danielle Noel. It is an absolutely gorgeous deck. And I actually got the chance to interview Danielle on my blog. So check that out. I'll link it below. First off, just the card stock on these cards and the size. They're a little bigger than most tarot decks. It's about the size of the Thoth deck, if you are familiar with working with that one. So it's a bit bigger, but the images are a mix of digital as well as photography. And it's an extremely intuitive deck. It doesn't really follow Rider-Waite or the Thoth or the Marseille. It doesn't really follow any of the traditional, God, what's what I'm looking for? Styles. There we go. Wow, okay. It's truly beautiful. It's an extremely intuitive deck. The minute I held it in my hands, it was one of those things where I knew it was going to be one of those decks that I loved for a really long time and really connected with. So I absolutely love it. I think it's the word I always use to describe it is mystical. And it's a little pricey, but it's totally worth the investment. Not only do you get the beautiful cards, you get an amazing companion book wrote by Danielle herself. And even just the box that it comes in is this amazing, two-set box, almost like if you're familiar with The Wild Unknown, almost like that, but obviously bigger to house the size of the cards. So I absolutely love this deck. I think it's beautiful. It's well worth the price, and I would say if you're a serious collector, to consider getting it. There are some men in the deck, obviously with the kings and the knights. Other than that, I will say it's a very feminine deck. The colors are very light and pastel for the most part. She uses a lot of feminine imagery. So it'd make a great deck for, using to connect with the goddess or, the divine feminine. It'd be a great deck to do with things like women-centered events. But I have read for guys with this deck, and I think it speaks to both sexes or all sexes extremely well. That is just one thing I would say that is pretty feminine-esque. But, see, we got a dude right there. But besides that, not that that's wrong by any means, but that's just something I would like to point out. Overall, it's an amazing deck, and it's definitely in my top of the top of the top. And long list of my favorites. It's definitely one of the tops. And again, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the card stock on these is the best card stock I've ever had of any deck that I've ever owned or touched or read with. So that right there is, enough to go buy it for me. Another one of my favorite decks is kind of a throwback. It is the Morgan Greer Tarot from, I believe, the 1970s, if I am not mistaken in that date. If I am, please correct me. What I love about this deck is how bold and how colorful it is. There are no borders on this deck, which was my first deck without borders, which I think is awesome because it really lets the art, expand to the ends of the cards. One of the things I love about this is not only the bold colors, which is awesome if you're the kind of reader who really reacts to colors well or, uses colors a lot in their readings, is it's not really steeped in a bunch of symbolism. So this deck has been one of those decks that have really helped me, strengthen my intuition, because you lay out the card and what you see is pretty much what you get. There is obviously, yes, some symbolism in the cards, but as I'd say, as far as, the Rider-Waite, the Thoth, or the Marseille, or the, a lot of decks are like steeped in symbolism. This one is not, so it makes it easier to read. It obviously does follow the Rider-Waite. I think this is a great beginner deck. If you don't pick up a Rider-Waite deck to begin with, I would say the Morgan Greer is, it might even be a better deck to start with if you're not 100% familiar with tarot, because it is so bold, it is so bright, it is very easy to read, and that's why I love it. And it's just so retro. Like, look at this facial hair. I mean, that's just, come on. It's awesome. I love this deck. The card stack's very decent. Another reason I love this deck is I am a self-proclaimed terrible shuffler. For being a tarot card reader, I'm not the greatest shuffler in the world. But these cards shuffle very, very easily, which I love. So yeah, love the Morgan Greer. The next deck that I have recently been using a bit and have fallen absolutely in love with is the Prisma Visions Tarot by artist James R. Eads. This deck, it's all the artist, he hand-painted every single card, and it is just gorgeous. Not only is the card stock amazing, not only is the art beautiful, but we have silver gilded edges here, which, how awesome is that? Come on now. And then what makes this deck so amazing and so unique to me, and I think to anyone who owns it, because it really is truly unlike any tarot deck that I've ever seen or that I'm aware is out there, is that each suit, so I can get it, each suit literally paints the picture when you put them together. So each suit has this, not only, does each card speak for itself, but it also, tells a story with each suit. That's just 5 cards, but I don't know if you can really see. But each suit tells its own story, which is amazing, and it really helps add to the depth. This is another great beginner deck. It follows pretty closely to the Rider-Waite. There are some, it does stray away a bit, especially in the case of the Major Arcana. A lot of the Major Arcana, he did his own interpretation. For instance, there's Temperance, the Hanged Man, which is a man, in water with piranhas, which I think is amazing. The Sun, here. The High Priestess, which is beautiful. So I feel like I throw around the term beautiful pretty frequently, but this truly is a beautiful deck. I would say this and the Star Child Tarot are probably two of the most, visually pleasing decks that I own. And really, if you're an artist, like, this deck is something you're really going to want to consider. Again, it is a little pricey, but again, completely worth it. Silver edges, guys, come on. So yeah, those are the 3 decks. Those are the 3 decks I've been using recently. There are 3 decks that I've seen, or at least these 2 getting a lot of buzz on the interwebs, on social media, and they're amazing, and I love all 3 of these decks quite a bit, and they're kind of ones that I, especially the Morgan Greer, they're kind of the ones that I go back to, after using a deck for a while. I'll go back, especially this guy here. It's just so, it's a classic. What's not to love? But yeah, I will post information below on all of the, where you can buy these decks, as well as my interview with Danielle, so graciously, who did an interview with me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are interested in a reading, I will link all my information below. Leave me a comment, drop me a line, let me know what decks you guys are using or what decks you guys are into these days, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.